It's been a while since I drew Superman, and I am a fan of the suit from the video game, the PS5, 5 suit. Is it the advanced suit? I think that's what it's called. Very slick. So let's draw or try and do our best to draw this. He's kind of like looking back over his shoulder, looking real intense. So his head is in profile, right, and his back sort of comes down. The back and the spider's like the main feature. Of course, that cool eye of his as well. So we will start with the eye. And we're just up here. So we'll go with the kind of, I'll do, yeah, like a spike. Okay, like it. That way. So the eye is pointing sort of like down, you know. And then we'll just go up and around to the spike on the other side. So it goes curving kind of up, and the spike up here is bigger than this one, kind of flicks up more. Okay, so we have the large curve that comes back into this point. Can be tricky to get that sort of shape. It's kind of like a raindrop, or what would you say, like a spiky lemon, odd shaped lemon. And then the white bit inside, so kind of follow this again, but it doesn't go as far like up here. It's probably, say, the point for the edge of the white part is like here. You know, it comes down to the point down here then. Okay, and then we have like, there's an extra sort of detail, so it like does that. I think it goes slightly this way. Down around to the front, and then something similar down around here. Seems to sort of disappear into the corner then up here somewhere. Of course, it's all black, colored inside. Right, so like the front of his face kind of bumps out here for his nose. It's not like a proper nose shape because the mask kind of softens everything. So it just kind of bumps out here. And then it goes down to his chin, which kind of disappears behind his shoulder. So his forehead then goes up here, and it's going to like curve all the way down to the back of his neck. So it's like aiming out here. Your skull is fairly long. It's a lot longer than most people would think. Okay, tricky enough shape to get right now. Then it bumps down for the back of his neck. there. So like his back is quite wide. So we have, say like his trapezius, so the top of his neck and shoulder here. And it's the webbing that sort of makes everything directional. So we'll just get the main shapes in, and the webbing really helps it look like his back, basically. So then his trapezius on this side comes down here. And then the shoulder is smaller on this side because it's turned away from us. So say like the back of his suit just starts here. And it kind of has a couple of bumps on it because he's quite muscly. It's a muscular Spider-Man. And then his tricep, like his big arm is here. So it starts like here. Comes around that way and then comes down here. And then the tricep on this side comes down this way. His bicep is like in here. And I kind of have to make up his elbow. But if I was an elbow, I would be here. So that's the silhouette, sort of the outside sort of line of him. Okay, so we do have like some various detail lines, but it's mostly like the webbing. So you could draw maybe, say like his jaw. Like that, and like maybe his spine, but the webbing does like most of the work for all this. But just give you an idea, right? So I'm going to start with the white spider, and then I'm going to draw in the line that separates the blue from the red. Okay, he's got like a stitching line around everything. So we start with his big, and it's kind of like turned away, right? So he's got this big white body on it. Which kind of goes up this way. So 4 legs on each side, so that you do these sort of gaps, these little dashes. That's the way I like to do it. And a leg comes out of each of those gaps, right? 1, 2, we go 2, 3, 4. There. Okay, so that's like the body shape, and then you'll have like 2 spiky fangs up here. And the legs come out, so we'll just do that. So they kind of like follow the line of his back. So it bumps down that way. Okay, 1. And it's like really big. Bigger than you think. Then these ones go up, so I'll do the ones on this side that go down. Actually, might as well do the down legs first. Right, and then we do the ones that go up. So the first one here, up, down, changes direction a couple of times, and then just kind of spiky here, then back down. And then it goes in, back down in there. And then the next one. So see, it kind of helps you sort of, it's kind of forming his back at the same time, like the way his back curves. And then the webbing will really do a lot of that work for us as well. So these white spikes then think. Like so. Now, so the separation of the blue. So he's got like this strong sort of blue area that comes down over the shoulder. And then it comes down his shoulder and like bicep area there. So it's red in here, blue in here. There's like all these stitching lines. So let's just get this in first. Right, and then I think those have edges to them. So I think there's like a little like raised up area here. Just like lightly put this in. Doesn't have to be super dark or anything. Maybe a bit too light, maybe. And then this comes down this way. And then there's like a stitching line that comes down his tricep here. And then you can see the head of the tricep there as well. Jacked. Very hard to get triceps like that, trust me. And then that comes down that way. It's like another stitching line. And then this separation goes that way as well. I think there's another sort of stitching line or something here. There. And then the blue comes over the shoulder over this side. There's like the tricep going down this way. Can't see, so I'd say the head of the tricep is there. And then maybe an edge line on that, you know, that follows this, but of course it's very tight in here, so it's just like there's like a little brown ridge or something on it. Oh, I went over the leg there, sorry. I'll erase that. Wasn't paying attention. So what, this goes this way then. All right, so the webbing then. So maybe for on the shoulder, just as an example. So we're starting here. So the webbing, you have vertical lines, so vertical parts to it that sort of curve, follow the sort of shape of his anatomy. Right, and say like down the arm. And then they kind of change, right, when it comes to his head. So I'll do the back first and then we'll deal with this, right? Because it kind of like bumps across. So say like his back here. You've got like one that comes down for his spine, right? This. And then that kind of goes up around his head there. So these ones like start to go over. So they kind of like, there's some that come down this way. Two, can't see, maybe just here. And one more in between those two sort of spider legs. Okay, so then like these shoulder lines, right, start to bump across this then. Right, and then this one. And then maybe another row, just like in between the legs. Can barely see them now. In there. That's probably enough. And then on the shoulder, we'll do some ones that kind of come across his shoulder then. And then across his arm. Okay, so now the face is like a different sort of situation, right? He's got the, because it goes like around his nose and stuff, so he's got that one that, you know, that sort of thing, that's right up here. So say this kind of thing at the top of the nose in between the eyes, and then they sort of come out from this. And they follow the sort of bends in his face. So it's kind of tricky, right? This kind of disappears underneath his jaw, I think. Then there's another one up here that kind of goes around his ear. So it like disappears behind the jaw in there somewhere. And re-emerges down his neck, say there somewhere. So then this one comes around the head and into the eye up there. Okay, then there's like webbing around here, around the nose, and it all comes down like in each sort of section here. Okay, so it's one section, right? And then they go the opposite. So wherever it touches, so like the corner here, then it goes around that way. And then we get some here. And then it all kind of comes around the head. There's actually a split here in the mask. There's two. Okay, so then this goes that way. That's interesting. This is like two there that join to a point. Like that. Right. I think we got it all. Rolling in the deep. Spider-Man Advanced. Hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.